So I almost never acknowledge comments like this because I think the whole Apple versus Android thing is kind of silly. Just use the phone you like. Both options are great. Don't turn it into a big pissing contest. That being said, as aggressive as this comment is, it actually opens up a really good conversation about one of the biggest differences between Apple and Android, which is their data and security policies. So this says whenever you use an Apple device, you're selling your data to the Apple government. But what's funny about this is whenever you use an Android device, you're actually selling your data to the real, actual government. And that's due to how the businesses are run. In general, Google makes money by selling your data. They're a data company. Apple makes money by selling products. They're a product company, in general. Both those have big upsides and big downsides. There's no right or wrong. Google is incentivized to make the most flexible and dynamic operating system possible where data can flow in and out of it at will. And because they make most of their money selling data, they can afford to make their hardware and software much, much cheaper. Apple, however, strictly prioritizes user experience and the security of their users. That security trickles down to their internal data policies and who they sell it to externally, which is pretty much nobody. They're very locked down about it. For that, not only does the device have to be secure, but everything the device interacts with also has to be secure. That's one of the main reasons the Apple ecosystem exists and why Apple is so adamant in controlling most of the hardware and software that your devices interact with, and why it's so hard for sometimes them to interact with other devices. They want to make sure that interaction is secure as humanly possible. Trust me, Apple is serious about this shit. But there's a huge disadvantage to using that ecosystem. If you want to use some external device or external app that doesn't work cleanly with iPhone, you can't, and that's when you should be using Android. That's totally fine. Even though this is in theory a lot more open and a lot less secure, you could do whatever you want with it. You could put whatever you want on it. You could move your data wherever you want. It's your device. You have full control over all of it. But that comes with some security risks. It's much easier to slip up on Android. It's also much more prone to malice and mistakes because bad actors can put things on as easy as you can. The flexibility, if you were super security literate, you could technically put in all the work and make an Android more secure. But the baseline level of security on Apple is freaking insane. There's no right or wrong. They're different businesses. They serve different markets. They'll fit different people's needs better. They have major market shares for a good reason because they do what they do really well. But to talk down on Apple misusing your data when Google is one of the biggest companies in the world on the back of selling your data is kind of wild. A demo of one of the biggest tech advancements I've ever seen was just released and nobody's talking about it. And that is this. It's a project called Game Engine by a bunch of Google researchers. This is it. You might see this and think, oh, that's Doom, this super popular video game from the 90s. But it's not at all. Somebody is sitting there playing this and it's acting like Doom, but what this is an AI image generator rendering each single frame of the game to create an exact copy of the game. There is no game engine or anything running this game. Nobody programmed it. Nobody programmed all the health bars here, the enemies and how they respond, the randomness, how to interact with doors. That doesn't exist. There's no engine behind it. It's just images of the frames being generated at a really high frequency and knowing based on the keyboard inputs of the user what the next frame is most likely to be. And based on the game's behavior, what the monsters are most likely to do and how the inventory is most likely to respond. They basically trained an AI to watch a bunch of people play Doom and then monitored their keystrokes, and they're able to recreate the entire video game seamlessly. I know it might not sound super exciting, but the implications of that are absolutely insane. The fact that somebody could sit there and play Doom, but there's no actual game that was built, is just requesting images from an AI based on a set input from the previous image and the keystrokes is insane. Training it on a current video game like Doom is just a really early stage example of the tech and its abilities, but the future implications for game development and any interactive experiences we use tech for in the future, I'm not even remotely doing justice how actually insane this is. I'd highly recommend checking out their white paper at Game Engine.io and checking out the videos. Hope you find it as interesting as I do. Thanks for watching.